Basketball Girl 2022 says I got my first ever raid today.
We got Homer doing his work. Oh my gosh, it's like so much pressure. Do it so easily.
It's like amazing to watch.
That is amazing.
Oh my god.
You did that to my badge?
How'd that go? Yeah, I was muted for a minute. Hang on, do that again. I'm gonna make a talk tick.
Just gotta find his buddy.
Jump through the window after that one.
Don't get in that car, Tony!
Oh, no. Mushroom sauce. Mushroom sauce. Oh my god.
Solitude says highway robbery giggles.
How are you? What are we doing? Does this guy know about your history?
Yeah. That's right, smash wheel.
The idea was we could outdo last year if 2 wheels fell off. But,
Did you tell him that?
fact,
We
not
tried.
Not so many words.
That was Kit. Yeah, I.
Got today's schedule. The only thing that's not updated is the Air Force. The Air Force is at 5:30 actually, because we want to schedule it right before Dylan Census, so it doesn't run into that set.
Yeah.
At that time, it might be a bit more crowded, but like, yeah, let us know.
Would I be able to get like 3 more of these, and I can just because this is what we need to get in, right?
Correct.
Is
Yeah,
that
it
possible?
shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are having so much fun.
So
I'd love to see,
the main person, he's the #2 longest subathon on Twitch,
Oh,
and he's. I mean, you guys would love him.
Me and Mushroom Sauce used it this weekend, and with Stream Buddy, like he even showed me how to add the icons for everybody's stream so you can see who's coming from where. This way you're not confused on like where the different chatters. But yeah, it was really cool, and I think the chat enjoyed it too.
Right, and it also pushes you up in the category, especially if you're a smaller streamer, which means more people are going to rate you, more people will see you, etc. The other option too is to always do restreaming.
Every day.
Okay.
You want me to take a photo, boss?
I want to.
Good. Okay.
Mushroom wife? She's coming. She's going to come next year. Come to the.
I can do whatever I want.
Mushroom wife is
I
coming.
could just do
coming
it
to TwitchCon
myself.
next year.
You're gonna love my
Takes
fanny pack
less
tomorrow.
time.
It's colder in the car.
Lives with me. I got a girl, she smells so sweetly. I got a girl, she loves her dog. I got a girl out with her. I got a girl who stares in the mirror. I got a girl who blames it on her period. I got a girl, she's so right. I got a girl, she's mine.
Donna Fern says hi Musher OOM.
Donna, how are you?
Techno Dino says happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Biffy_Stiffy says hi Mush.
Biffy
Friday
Stiffy.
greetings. Chuck at PDOTW says afternoon all.
Afternoon. It is. This person's just gonna
Donna Fern says, good, thank you, hope you're okay too. Techno Dino says, for those who haven't tried yet, the cherry Sakura Red Bull is very delicious, as Mush has said as well. Hammond Liz Gaming says, yes Liz, and I had one last night.
You had one what?
Techno Dino says Mush did his good deed for the day. Techno Dino says cherry Sakura Red Bull.
Ah. Got one right here.
Hammond Liz Gaming says the cherry Sakura Red Bull.
Sakura. It's, put the phone in. 72 degrees. It was colder in the car when I rolled the windows down than it was outside.
Techno Dino says, in my opinion, it tastes better when it's cold than room temp.
Oh yeah. Who's drinking them at room temperature?
Hammond Liz Gaming says, do we have a print today?
Potentially. I forgot about that, actually. I can do one. I'm waiting on yellow filament so I can print SF Tort Life brackets. Supposed to come today.
Hammond Liz Gaming says, once I get back from my Canada trip I am getting mine.
I'll believe it when I see it. You could go get it this weekend and then pay for it later. It's just a cup game, Hammer. I don't know why you're so afraid of it.
Techno Dino says, at Hammond Liz Gaming, why wait until then?
Exactly, see? Techno gets it. You're just moving money around. You can pay for it now.
Hammond Liz Gaming says it's mainly just I have no time to get it and set it up.
That's crazy. There's nothing to do to set it up. You could drive down to Indy right now and buy one in Micro Center. Set it up tonight before we even game. You could be printing things while you're away. Just have Liz change out the filament.
Techno Dino says there could be your IRL stream tomorrow.
Today. You could go right now.
Gaming says, except I am at work till 5.
Ridiculous. You're not physically at work.
Hammond Liz Gaming says, at Techno Dino have a birthday party.
Is he telling you to go have a birthday party? Confused.
Techno Dino says, I guess he has a birthday party he has to go to.
I was going to say you need to make more friends with people that are older, but I guess your problem is your kids are younger, so they have younger friends. So then you still have birthday parties to go to.
Hammondless Gaming says it's nephew's B-Day.
Oh, you never liked that kid anyway. So it sounds like Saturday Micro Center trip. It literally doesn't take any time to set it up. The longest part is removing the AMS from inside the...
Techno Dino says go, say happy birthday, and road trip, at Hammondless Gaming.
It's true. That's a good point. It's got you there. I don't think I'm going to chance it. I don't think I'm going to go that way because I have a feeling there's going to be some road closures. I'm just going to go the way that I know. I'm wearing my all-day NYC bird poop shirt. Imagine having 50 people watching your alternate channel, Hammer. Can you imagine?
Diana the dog groomer says lurking but no audio for me ATM.
Diana. I have your thing with me. Sending it today.
Techno Dino says hi at Diana the dog groomer.
Even though I heard your chat was filled with hate today, I'm still sending it. I hope you appreciate that. Oh, she doesn't have audio.
Hammondless Gaming says hello at Diana the dog groomer.
She doesn't have audio, so she didn't hear any of that.
Watch out. Vehicle on shoulder.
Misty16X says lol. Misty16X says hi.
Were you in there? It brings up a good topic. I don't know if this is the place to talk about it, but I know that people don't like, well, let me take this back.
Techno Dino says hi at Misty16X.
Some people don't like political talk in their chat, but some people, I don't know. Never mind. It's probably not a good place to talk about it.
Telesir says vroom vroom.
Telesir, how are you? I feel, okay, all right, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to talk about it.
Telesir says Mbuchi.
Some people...
Misty16X says I think it's up to the streamer's discretion.
Right, but
Telesir says how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
JT England says stinks in here.
JT, when are we setting up your temporary IRL setup? It costs you nothing but time. I have an extra ingest that I'm willing to loan to you. I have to say loan to you because I've let other people use them and they've never gotten their own. Actually, I'm giving you the one that I set up for Sweaty that he's never used. Let me think. Where was I? Oh, political chat. I feel like it's either way. It's a gamble because odds are pretty good that depending on your own political leanings, your leanings are different than probably 50% of your chat. Maybe it's swayed the other direction. I don't know. I'd be curious. Not that I would ever ask chat, but I wonder if, depending on your own assumed leanings, I wonder if your chat tends to, because of your overall conversation and style and talk, I wonder if the people that are in your chat consistently tend to lean the same direction as you. That would be an interesting panel conversation. That would never happen at TwitchCon, but would be interesting. Because I know there's people, and I could probably name several that I wouldn't, that would never discuss anything political because Twitch is their business, and it would be like having a shop in a town and posting, something political. You're definitely going to lose customers. But would you gain customers? I don't know. See, it's a weird dynamic, and nobody's talking or responding or
Martellus here
giving me
says,
any
hey,
input.
that's me not being political.
So, it's an interesting topic though, because if you think about it, depending on where, and it shouldn't matter, right? So, the grand scheme of things, I've talked about this before. We could all have our own opinions and feel the way we do about whatever's going on.
Afraz Explores says, what's up, Mush?
Speaking of, Afraz comes in right as I'm talking politics. We're not talking politics, but we're talking about how politics and views
Techno Dino says at Afraz Explores, hi there.
in a stream could affect your viewership, but it could affect it positively or negatively. It would be an interesting discussion if you could have it civilly. You know what I mean? Because
C_Hags says, hello, Shroom.
hello, Sea Hags, how are you? Afraz, how are you? Who else did I not? What's the temperature in New York? Apparently there's a bunch
Afraz
of...
Explores says, I'll listen, but I don't know comments, lol. Techno Dino says, hi at C_Hags. Afraz Explores says, hey at Techno Dino.
No, the point I'm making, Afraz, is that I feel like, overall, in the grand scheme of things, it shouldn't matter how...
Martellus here says, I believe everyone has their own wrong opinion. I kid. I believe everyone has their own opinion. As long as they don't try to push it on me, we good.
Yeah, like, in the world, in Twitch, in person, like, everywhere, you should be able to have your own feelings and thoughts. And the two,
Techno Dino says exactly at Martellus here.
even if yours are completely opposite, we should still be able to get along. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be the way it is in some places. You know what I mean? Like, just because...
Blurp says playing blurp sound emote meme using 1,000 Twitch channel points.
But it's an interesting topic on Twitch. Not topic on Twitch. It's an interesting thing to think about because there's definitely some division. And everybody handles it differently in their own chat or their own stream.
Martellus here says, me and you have a lot in common. We embrace the suck LMAO.
Yeah. But I could see where it would be an interesting
Chuck at PDOTW says civilly.
panel.
Afraz Explores says they always say it's freedom of speech, but it's never, because as soon as you say something, they shut you down.
Yeah, right. And that shouldn't be like that. Like, you should be able to have a dialogue.
Diana the dog groomer says, I have audio now. Hi.
Hi. How are you? We were discussing how different streams and different people handle political topics and conversations.
Techno Dino says, hi Diana.
Differently in their streams. And how it would be an interesting topic to have a discussion on, like, at TwitchCon.
Diana the dog groomer says, hee hee hee.
It'll never happen. But it would be an interesting, like, psychological, maybe
Diana the dog groomer says, he techno and everyone.
maybe not psychological is the right word for
Diana
it,
the dog groomer says never say never.
like you have to think
Diana the dog groomer says nothing is impossible.
leaning into
Mertelisir says he Diana.
leaning into your own beliefs one way or the other could potentially negatively or positively affect
Musher
your
OOM Sauce says Diana the dog groomer just subscribed. Misty16X says I feel the skill of agreeing to disagree is lost in society today. There is a lot of it's all or nothing in opinions.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's
Mertelisir says oh, I'll be sending you mushbox stuff end of next week.
nice. Well, I am free.
Mertelisir says I am finally gonna pull that trigger.
Nice. I feel like, weren't you one of the ones that was against it for Sweaty?
Diana the dog groomer says thanks Techno for the gifted.
Oh, Techno gifted it. Thank you for gifting that sub to
Techno
Diana.
Dino says at Diana the dog groomer please enjoy your tier 2 sub and enjoy those emotes.
Techno, thank you for gifting that.
Mertelisir
Oh.
says no I was for it LMAO.
Who was it? There was somebody that was like totally against it, even though he's never used it.
Mertelisir says but he didn't listen to me. Techno Dino says you're welcome.
And I've watched, I think I mentioned it yesterday, but every time his stream cuts out when he was in Bisbee, I'm like, this wouldn't be a problem if you're using the mushbox. The problem he has now is that he has it, but he doesn't have all the other things to help make it work, you know?
Mertelisir says every time he goes inside, be great to have a mushbox LMAO.
Yeah. And even if he was using his existing connections, I feel like the BellaBox software handles low signal better than IRL Pro. Like, I feel like he's the only person that's his size of a streamer that's still using IRL Pro. But I could be wrong. I'm just...
Techno Dino says I think that to mush. Every time I see someone having issues with IRL, first thing comes to mind, if you only had a mushbox. Mertelisir says does it handle no signal LMAO?
Doesn't handle no signal, but it definitely does more with less. We've found that out on many occasions. I mean, look at TwitchCon was a perfect example. Dan was trying to use Moblin. All Day NYC was using.
Mertelisir says I have maybe one bar where I live sometimes.
Was using Moblin inside the convention center and couldn't stream for shit. But Hammer and I and Barktalk and everybody that was on a BellaBox was doing just fine. We did have multiple connections, but you know, that's a perfect example of like, although did Sweaty have issues? I don't know. But anyway, back to the topic that I brought up. It's an interesting conundrum. Is that the right word? Where if you lean into politics in your channel one way or another, are you helping or hurting your channel? You were definitely in a turn lane.
Mertelisir says wait, did I hear correctly? I have to have a backpack.
A backpack? What? You don't have to have a backpack.
Mertelisir says no longer want it. Diana the dog groomer says yep, either way you're going to do some damage but also some good depending on the situation, but either way it's going to negatively impact in some way, shape or form.
I don't know.
Diana the dog groomer says you can use a fanny pack.
I don't know.
Mertelisir says to carry the mushbox LMAO.
No, you can fit it in a fanny pack. I don't know though, Diana. That's where it's an interesting topic of discussion, because depending on, let's say, we'll just use your channel as an example. Let's say 75% of your viewers in chat lean a certain way. 25% go the other way. Just as an example.
Mertelisier says he'll use a backpack. Ain't no hips for a fanny pack. Diana the dog groomer says you'll gain more like-minded people for sure though. C_Hags says let's do some testing on that theory.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on who's in your. So let's say you start a channel from scratch. So you have no viewers. You just fired it up today, and you decide to lean in heavily a certain direction. It would be interesting to see if you did that with 2 channels, which one would grow quicker, or you know what I mean? Like, I think it would also depend on what your content is too. Like if you're streaming protests, then clearly you're depending on which direction. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to know because even, you know, watching news and social media and everything is catered to your interests. So, you know, depending on what algorithm you're in determines some of your views, I think. I don't know. It's all hard to say. We just need to go back to playing outside and stop staring at our phones all the time, which is why IRL streaming is so nice. We were having that, Jane was talking about that last night during her TikTok stream, which she does once a day for some reason. How, like, and she's probably, I think she's 10 years younger, so she's 40, right? So she was kind of on the tail end of my generation. But the nice thing about, and I'm glad that this happened for me, you know, but, you know, when I grew up, we had to find stuff to do. We went outside and played in the woods and played cops and robbers, and you had to, you know, you weren't consumed with all this media. Like kids nowadays don't have a choice but to be involved in all the politics and everything that's happening in the world right now. When I was a kid, I had no idea what was going on in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I was born in 74, so the tail end of like Vietnam. I didn't know that shit was going on. Like, kind of
Diana the dog groomer says agree.
Kind of goes back to when what I talk about to my family currently, like.
Techno Dino says you said you were told to come in when the street lights came on. They look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah. Like if you didn't have all this stuff dumping information in your head all day long, and you just worried about, like, let's say you stand out in the middle of this field, or you pitch a tent out there in that field for a month, and you have no internet.
Mertelisier says that was me. Street lights came on, I came in for dinner.
You have no way of knowing what's going on outside of your little bubble, your tent. You have food, you cook it, you know, maybe the field's a bad example, but in the middle of the woods, and you're camping for a month, and you have all your food, you're cooking it there, you're not going anywhere, you're not talking to anyone. It's just you and your little world. And you have no idea what's happening outside of your tent and your little forest spot. You're eating, you're warm, you're getting your sleep. Like, all that stuff is being taken care of by you or whatever. Does all the other shit that's going on in the world matter?
Techno Dino says, yeah, that was me. I was told to come in when the street lights are on. My parents always said, I don't expect to stand on the porch and call you to come home. Lol. Red Robin 78 says when I was younger we could go out to play and the whole street kept an eye on everyone's children. We so much safer then than the kids of today.
Yeah.
Diana the dog groomer says the people I've met that don't use any type of social media other than Twitch and stuff like that are generally happier in my opinion.
Yeah. And that's what I try to tell.
Techno Dino says yeah, those were the good old days.
I still think you can have that if you don't allow social media to run your life, you know, which is hard for me to say as I'm driving to work, streaming it on the internet. But there are some positives to this. Like in this world, without this, Diana and I would never, there would be no reason that we would ever hang out and do it, you know what I mean? Like, because we're very different in the grand scheme of things. But as people and like humans at like the base level, we're very similar.
Red Robin 78 says I didn't have internet till I left home at 21. My childhood was getting dirty or baking or visiting relatives.
Like if you think about children on a playground, like Diana and I would
Techno Dino says I would never have met all of the great people if I didn't have this at all. I never would have met Ed Mertelisir and known he is in the same state as me.
Like here's a good example. You put all of us as children on a playground and we would all get along and have fun, you know, with no politics and no, you know, news and everything that's going on in the world.
Red Robin 78 says at Techno Dino exactly.
Which is kind of what I feel like Twitch does for people, or should do for people. It's kind of like a playground where you can all come together and get along and have common interests outside of, you know, all the other adult stuff in the world. I think that's a good analogy. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. But like outside of Twitch, in the real world, you know, like in the real adult world, there would be no situation where Diana and I would come together and meet, and you know what I mean? Same thing with like April.
Misty16X says I would have no chance to interact with any of you. Lol. Klabarbin says let's find a slide and try it out.
Klabarbin, how are you? I think it's a good analogy. I'm gonna use that more often. Twitch is like a children's playground, where it's kind of a.
Diana the dog groomer says I agree, I like it.
Safe space.
Red Robin 78 says it's the toddlers should show the grown-ups that skin color or race or if rich or poor they don't see difference.
Exactly.
Techno Dino says at Klabarbin is this going to be a metal slide that's 100 degrees on the playground because it's out in the sun? Lol. Diana the dog groomer says because politics are taboo in most streams and other topics that could divide people or are more likely to, so I like that about Twitch.
Yeah. I knew
Red
we were
Robin
doomed.
78 says I believe you treat others on how you want to be treated.
I knew we were doomed when the neighborhood that we used to live in, the elementary school had this huge slide. Very dangerous. But it was a lot of fun. And it was like super high off the ground. It was probably like 25, 30 feet off the ground. Probably 20, it's closer. But they tore that down and they put in like a low, you know, very safe. That's when we were doomed. You know, sometimes you need life lessons out in the world. You need self-correcting problems. Just kidding.
Mertelisir says mush question.
Go ahead. $1 million.
Mertelisir says, can I just send you the money and you order it all LMAO?
You could. It's been done before. That's how Steve did it. The only reason I do it the other way,
Mertelisir says, easy, I'll do that.
I started doing it that way because I wanted people to know that I wasn't upcharging them for stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. But to me, it seems like it makes it seem less expensive if they're buying the parts and then they're just paying me for my part. But I have had several people say, dude, you should just charge a set amount and that it just includes everything. But I feel like for some people saying, here, you buy...
Mertelisir says, I'm not worried about the price LMAO.
You buy the parts and then you pay me to put it together is easier to swallow. And some people do it that way. So some people order the parts.
Krista says, I'll pay you these nuts.
And then they pay me.
Techno Dino says, but then if we buy the parts, we then have to pay for shipping to you.
No, you just use Amazon. So what I have them do is I just have them do it all through Amazon. And then they just ship it to me that way. But I don't know. There's various different people in here that could probably go either way with that. So for some people, like Tort Life is a perfect example. So they ordered the parts, 300 and whatever, 50,
Techno
75.
Dino says, oh, okay, so you're the delivery location.
Yeah.
That makes sense and I bet works great.
Somewhere in there. And then they're going to pay me, I assume. This is the part that I don't often tell people, and I probably should, but I usually allow them to pay me.
Says 357-ish.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Did you also include the board? The bad part now is that the board can only be purchased either in China or from a local distributor, and it's like 150 something, 57 I think for the board. But you can do the same that way. But what most people do is they order the parts on Amazon, and then when I ship it or after I ship it, then they pay me the $300 for my part. Some people pay me everything in advance, which is fine, but it just depends. I feel like the pay me later.
Mertelisir says 225.06 for the board.
No. Hang on, don't order that. You should be able.
Mertelisir says it comes out to like 610 with board.
You should be able to get it for 157. I think I should have sent you a link. Hang on, let me check when I get to work.
Techno Dino says, I think you're looking at the wrong board.
Yeah, the board should be like 157 from RS in the States.
Mertelisir says, yes, the link you sent me shows 225. Mertelisir says, lol.
Yeah,
Krista says, do I need to send more money?
No. For what? Oh, for your filament? No. I need to order it. I haven't ordered it yet. For reasons. Skunk.
Mertelisir says, you just give me an amount and I'll send it next week easy.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like it's easier. So from the start, when I started doing this, my whole reason for doing it was to make it so that people that wanted to IRL stream could do it cheaper than the big box companies, which is one of the reasons I didn't charge to do it to begin with. I just had them order the parts, and then I would put it together, and then I'd send it to them. And that model worked. I mean, it didn't do anything for me, but, well, didn't do anything for me monetarily. I take that back. April, good example. Like, I've gotten more publicity from April than I could have ever gotten money-wise, you know what I mean? Like, she shouts me out every chance that she gets. And I've gotten builds that people have paid for from, you know, April's talking about me all the time. So there was, in that scenario, there was more gained than I could have ever if I had charged her to build it, you know what I mean? For me, that's a perfect example where, you know, building that for free for her paid off, I guess. It wasn't my intention, but that's how it worked out, you know what I mean? My original intention was just to help her be able to do what she's doing now. And are there people that I did that for that haven't been as, what's the word I'm looking for?
Mertelisier says he'll pay minimum wage per hour for the build per the law LMAOI joke.
What's the word I'm looking for? Those gambles haven't always worked out. But I think it's the same way with any like business. Like, you know,
Krista says grateful.
I don't know about grateful. I just, like, everyone's grateful. For me, it's more about like once they get there, do they remember how they got there? Which has that has always been a thing that I've struggled with people in life, on Twitch, in Sea of Thieves, you know, my previous streaming circle, even before IRL streaming. And not that anyone's required to, like...
Mertelisier says I need to get back into C. Krista says true. I bragged about your ass to Yuva Groovy last night. Uncle J-Pop says good afternoon. Hey everyone.
Uncle J-Pop, how are you? Yeah, I met UV Groovy in 2022.
Red Robin 78 says at Uncle J-Pop hi. Techno Dino says hey Uncle J-Pop.
Uncle J-Pop, how are you? Any, I saw it. Cozy was streaming last night. She was driving. I wasn't sure where she was going.
Uncle J-Pop says doing okay. Trying to make it through the day.
Nice.
Mertelisier says sue Uncle J-Pop.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to sue him.
Uncle J-Pop says sue dude at Mertelisier.
What did UV say? UV was passed out in a car.
Uncle J-Pop says hey at Technodino at Redrobin 78.
At one point during TwitchCon 2022, and we had to find him. That was pretty funny. That was the Sea of Thieves TwitchCon. When I went to TwitchCon just to hang out
Krista
with
says that you were a good dude that helps everyone.
Sea of Thieves people. I'm trying to help JT. JT is doing...
Uncle J-Pop says hi Krista. HRU.
JT
Krista
is
says
walking.
he wasn't wrong. Donna Fern says hi at Uncle J-Pop.
JT's walking every day and wants to stream it. And I told him we could help him.
Uncle J-Pop says hey at Donna Fern.
I told him I could help him.
Krista says at Uncle J-Pop hi.
Getting him
I'm
on the
alrighty. Thanks. You.
Uncle J-Pop, did you join the Creators for Charity
Uncle
yet?
J-Pop says at Chess Krista not bad.
I've gotten a good turnout. I sent out a bunch of invites to the Creators for Charity Discord. Did I send it to you, Telesier? I think I did. We got April in there. We got Jane, Krista. Who else? I think Telesier. Who joined? Anyway, that group is the team that I'm on for St. Jude Play Live.
Krista says so. JT doesn't want a mushbox.
What?
Telesier says Ham sent me it.
Oh, that's right. You were the first person that kind of started to remind me that I needed to send invites. So it's the team that I am part of that Hardware Guy runs to do St. Jude Play Live. And the reason that I even got an invite to the summit this year. So, grand scheme, you know, if you guys join, there's potential that you could also be going to the summit next year. So, something to think about. I'm going to stream as much of it as I can so you guys can see it this year. But it's really cool. You get to tour the hospital, you get to play games with the kids, you know, you get to meet all these other creators that come from all over the world. I have to watch a video tonight. There's a couple videos of like some YouTubers that created some content from. It's pretty neat though. They meet you at the airport, they take you to the hotel, you know, they put you up at the Peabody Hotel, which is a really nice hotel. They used to have one in Orlando. I think they still do. I don't think the Ducks are there though, but.
Musher OOM Sauce says Mertellisir just subscribed.
Techno Dino, thank you for gifting that sub to Mr. Tellisir. Appreciate it. Ooh.
Krista says you never finished your JT story.
Oh. So I told
Mertellisir says thanks Dino. Techno Dino says of course.
I told JT I would set him up because I have an extra ingest. So we just need to set up OBS, no albs, and then he could use his phone to stream his walks. But he hasn't gotten back to me. I mean, he's gotten back to me. He's shy, which I know is surprising.
Uncle Jacob says W Dino.
Which I know is surprising, but hoping to break him of that at the summit, where I'm going to get to meet JT for the first time. Been to TwitchCon twice in his city and begged him to come out, and he hasn't. But now he's gonna make it to St. Jude Summit, so that'll be the first step to getting him to go to TwitchCon this year. I think that'll be the icebreaker.
Krista says you can summit D. Krista says damn it.
Didn't fall for it. Didn't get me that time. What was that? It's always interesting to me when people tear down these really nice barns, these old barns. I have the air on. Tell me that's not wild. We had snow a couple days ago, and now it's 70 degrees out. $74. It's almost it's almost 80 degrees.
Misty16X says I am jealous. Red Robin 78 says how far from work now?
7 minutes. This was the one and only mosh pit that I was ever involved in. Was during a Candlebox and Tool concert in 93, 94-ish in Washington State. My first time and last time I was ever in a mosh pit. It's very interesting. An interesting dynamic. Someone knock you on your ass and then pick you up.
Misty16X says lol.
I was very dehydrated. And it was muddy and gross and something I would never do nowadays. So we'll have to go the
Techno Dino says, oh that's right. It's Friday so it's a short day for you.
yeah. So my drive home will probably go the cool route. All right, we don't get to raid April very often, so we're gonna raid April once I get closer. Don't go anywhere. Stick around for the raid. April is also part of the Creators for Charity. That was one of the things that I was trying to do.
Misty16X says lol.
At TwitchCon was kind of bring
Misty16X says IOP.
IOP. What? Bring the IRL people introduce them to Hammer. Introduce them to Hardware Guy and Poison Heart, who kind of run our charity team.
Misty16X says sorry dog on keyboard.
To get them involved, because I want to get more IRL streamers on
Red
our
Robin
team.
78 says have a good shift, see you later.
I will be back at 7 for the drive home, and then we're playing games. I think Diana wants to do golf with friends, but there's one called Battle Golf or something that's similar to golf with friends, but first person kind of scenario, which looks kind of cool. So might do that. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. And golf with friends is good because it's just like
Donna
a chill.
Fern says have good short day X.
Will. It's only 4 hours. Just enough time to eat, ship Diana's box. I might be swapping out the standoffs. I haven't decided yet. The plastic ones are annoying me again, so.
Techno Dino says Super Golf Battle.
Yeah, that one. But I think it's only 8. Is it 8 people?
Hammondless Gaming says we can do that one. Techno Dino says yeah, it's up to 8 people.
This is going to be a really cool tower. They're building a new control tower, which is going to be pretty nifty. It's going to replace that one, which is from like the 60s. All right, looks like April's doing pop-ups and stuff, so we'll go send you guys over there. Stick around for the raid. If you're not following April, give her a follow. She's one of the original mushboxers. She got me where I am today. I think I got over 1,000 followers in the last year, and most of it was because of her. So go show her some love.
Sari_bot says have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to stay hydrated and take care of yourself. Donna Fern says love April X.
Yeah, everybody have a good day. I'll be back in 4 hours, and we'll go the kind of cool back route. Park right here.
Techno Dino says 4 hours too many. Lol.
Yeah, I mean,
Biffy_Stiffy says later mush.
Biffy Stiffy, stick around for the raid if you can. I don't know if you're following April, but it's a lot of fun. Oh, I still have some of this left. That's all I got. I don't have anything else. So we're sticking around for the combo
Hammondless
today.
Gaming says later.
Later. With my all-day NYC shirt. It's not giving me a countdown. Oh yeah, it is. It's doing it here. It's doing it in Stream Buddy.